Okay, I'm back. A bit later than I wanted to. I just closed my door again. 1 second. Oh, I'm back. There we go. So, I'm gonna just look at. I was asked how to animate like a button, and using a color transition. So when you click it, it changes color. There's a few different ways you can do it. You can make it as you can do it really simple version. So if I get a rounded rectangle, I'll just make a button graphic. You can use texture, you can use shapes, you can make a button however you want. I'll just go for a simple button design. I'm just going to add some text as well. So put some text, 2D, text, color. I'm going to use a solid color. I'll copy that solid color onto the button as well, onto the back plate of the button. And let's make this, for now, let's just make it blue. Like that. I'm going to center the text. Center, alignment, and center. And I'll just give it a title like submit. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be this. There we go. I don't know why my default font is this now. I need to. Let me edit. See if I can get nice font. I've got my projects that I've already imported. Font doesn't really matter too much, but I'll use this one. Oh, okay. Let's just play around with the character spacing. Yeah, this will do. Okay, so I want to animate when I click this. No, so when we click it, maybe I want this to press, so I'll use the mover. I'm going to use the mover to trigger it. So, and I want it to maybe just scale down a tiny bit like this. To 0. Say 0.9, no 0.8, I'll say 1 to 0.8. So in the mover values, I'll do 1. So the max is 1, and the minimum is 0.8. So 0.8. And one shot, I might take swing off. We'll see what happens. Let's just do this. And then if I hit nudge, oh, let's turn swing back on. The other way around, so 1, 0.8, so 0.8, 8. Oh, people forget I didn't add the button yet. There we go. If I speed that up right to 0.5. That's just a quick way of animating, but then there's no color animating on that. So the other way you could do it is keyframe it. So keyframe animation. And here, I'm gonna set a key. Go to like say a second, set a key, and then go here about halfway, and say 0.8. Set a key. So as it triggers, it's the same thing as the mover, and now I have more control over that animation because I'm keyframing it rather than just putting 2 values. And say you want to keyframe this color to change. So as I get to here, I want it to go red. You can use the RGB values, also HSV values, HSV to color, or you can go here, toolbox, Color materials, you've got quite a few color operations that you can use. So color transform, HSV, RGB, color to RGBA. I like to use the HSLA to color. And what you do is just take this base color and link it to this. And then you can you can animate this value here. You can animate the saturation if you wanted. So for now, I'll go 50% on the saturation, and I'll just animate the hue value. So right now, so I'll say the end is green, like this, and the start, let's just go red. So 100. Oh, so 0 will take us to like a red color, and then you notice as I boom, you can see the value change and the colors animating. But if I go slow, you see it's transitioning between the values changing. So maybe if you don't want to see it's going to yellow, maybe you just shorten that keyframe. There you go. So if I set 2 states, set a state here, and I'll set a state here, new state. So I've got 2 states. I'll just get a touch button, place that in front of the top of the tree. Select that and the button. And what I can do actually is also go into the state, logic state here. I'm just going to use just the next, and I'm going to drag that here. So now we can just keep on clicking next. So it will cycle, and then all I do is link the next to that single tap. So now I just keep on tapping it. If I want to change the speed of that button animation, I could go in here and edit the time, because right now it takes a second for it to transition. But the cool thing is you've got global speed here, so you can slow this down or speed it up. So now it's at 50%. It's 50% slower. If I want it 300% faster, boom. Got a simple button transition. And all I'm doing is just tweaking the glow speed here, so I can say 200%. There we go. And I could add more elements into this animation. So if I wanted to say, add the text effects to this, like so, maybe it rotates when you click it or something, could do some silly effect, something. There, so 0, go here, 100. Yeah, there we go. Let's transition in. So that's one way of just animating the color on a button, but that's a really simple basic one. There's other ways you can do it. So if I duplicate, I'll just call this button 1, and what I'll do, I'll just put an axis on there, on the group. So now I can move this over here. So if we put this to the side, I'm going to duplicate this, collapse the first one that we created, and what I'm going to do is disconnect this HLS, the color from it, the current animation. So we still got this, but now we're not transitioning the color. But instead, I'm going to use a gradient and animate the UV texture. You could, of course, so we go base. I'm going to go base color. I'm going to reset the base color here to white, and then where the texture loader is, I'm going to choose where is it? 1D gradient, and let's say we go for this color spectrum. On the gradient options, I'm going to uncheck vertical. We've got something like this. And I'm going to edit this gradient. So let's go for, so it'll be blue. This across. So I'm going to just do two different gradients. And this one could be like a greeny. Doesn't look wonderful right now. Hopefully you'll see what I'll do in a second. So I'm going to go here into the UV mapping. 2D UV. I'm going to change UV 0. If I scale this, instead of scaling the X, and then I'll change the X position, what I could do is animate it transitioning like this. So it's, maybe I'll scale it down a little, like this. So I could go kind of from this bluey green color. So if I go to the animation, and I take the X position. So let's start here. Oh, I forgot to change the position of the button so we can focus on it. So go here, go here to the next keyframe. Oh, was this state not on 1 second? There we go. And then I could just change the X position so it kind of slides over. There we go. So you got a hard switch, or you got this nice soft one. And what you could do if you want, you can add a little linear node and delay that. Transition. If you want to see a bigger change in the color, if I double click there and change this to, say, go to orangey red. And just change the keys here. I'll go a bit more to, oh. Let's see what that looks like. There you go. And if I play around with this linear, so say 0.6, see how that looks. There you go. So there's a few ways you can animate colors. So that's just a hard value switching of the color, and then that's just the gradient, animating the gradient to make it look like it's transitioning. It's just a more softer way. Of course you can animate, so we can animate another button. I'll duplicate this. Of course we can do it a different way. It can be the same button. We can just make a different button out of this. Let's say you wanted to fill the button with a texture. So say if I go Photoshop now, Photoshop. So that's just using colors, but okay, new. I'm gonna go 512 by 512. It can be smaller. It can be whatever size you want. But normally I would only design a graphic for that size of. So depending on what size of the screen is, so that space on the screen. So if it's a 256 space, then I'll just do 256 space. But I'll get a. Actually, I don't even need that. I can just use a white block. Yeah, it could just be a white texture like this. It doesn't actually. Actually, maybe the loader before I go ahead, let me just check the loader. There might be one already made. No, but we can edit this one. So I could edit this texture here. So it's already filling it up. And of course, another way you can do it. Your UV mapping, I think you take off lamp. Oh, is it advanced? I believe it's advanced. And I'll change it to border. Now if I change the UV mapping here. Let's zero this out. I'm going to remove the linear node so it's easier for me to see because there's like a delay. Yeah, so there we go. I can see it's doing something. Now I believe there's a way to turn the border off so that border can have an alpha. I believe there should be anyway. For the color, but there should be like a borderless. I don't want it to. Oh, you turn a border here, and then there will be a border. There'll be an alpha for the border, like to get rid of that. It's weird. From what I remember, it doesn't matter. But let's ignore that one then. So let's go back let's make a texture. So I'll just delete this. I'll come back to it if I find where that to turn on transparent border. But you could have two textures here. I'll just make another color. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Control J, Control T. Oh, take it to halfway line. Another color. It's the same, it's a texture, but rather than just using the gradient. I could save that JPEG. And save it as grad one. There's no difference in you could use that gradient tool. It's much better to use the gradient tool in here. But I'm just showing you how you can animate different assets. The same thing you can do with the tools inside, or you can do with outside. So texture, base, load that in. Yeah, it was called like grad one or something. Open. And of course you change the UV mappings. So we just change the scaling on the X. And we just animate the X position. So here it's fine. And here press this lighter purple. Perhaps this one. There we go. But yeah, you can see it happening there. And if I want, I could put that linear node back in and just change it to 0.5. But yeah, so you can see there's a few ways you can animate a button. The color of a button, sorry. So you can animate the texture, you can animate the gradient, you can animate just the color itself. Using the HSV. You've also got where is it? We'll go to color operations. Color operations. Color transformer, which you color in and then you color out. So you could say if I get color solid. So basically it's like this is a converter almost. So you say this is my color. Say my color in is this and my, just so you can see it working. I'll just get another color. So this will be more out. Should do something. I believe that should edit those values out on the transform and give me a different out. Maybe I should see something here. I'm not sure if this is updating, but that should do it anyway. Color operations, but you've got your color to RGBA. Just give you different values. You can put in your color straight in from Photoshop. Color node's quite cool. You can also just type it in. So you could put 256 by, I don't know, 8 by 26. Oh, maybe that's not a color. But yeah, you could just type it in. Also 255, not 256. And you know, you can type it in. Is 255. Well, I don't know why I got 256 in my head. Let's animate another button, but just not color. I'll just do another button animation. Show you a different way of animating another button. So I'll put that over there. Different. This one could make it look different as well. Yeah. Playing around with the settings. Yeah. We've got 3 different button designs. Just using the assets in Ventuz. Want to make another one. Let's edit this one. Swap it out with a rectangle. Not a rectangle, cube. Make that bigger in X and Y. And push it back in Z space. Like so. Give it a bezel. And change the from no light to like a thong, so you know you can see. Got another button, just using different object. Perhaps you want this one to rotate so you can see something happening. So we want to change Z, so we've got depth here. And let's say 274 to 274. Oh, copy that. Paste it. Oh, let's see, what was it? 8 point something, 8.7, I think. There we go. So I'll push this back in Z a little bit. Like this. So when we click, it can rotate. I'll take the X value. Here 0, here 90. Oh. Did I even change the right value? Oh no, I didn't. That's the rotation right there. 0. Okay. This up a little. Then perhaps I don't want this rotation text effects. I want a different text effect, so I could use, text alpha. Oh, so I chose text alpha. And text alpha effect. There we go. Here's there, and 0 it. On. I'm going to change that to center. There we go. Maybe invert that. It's got another button, just using different objects. Got a few more options. Let's take this one up here. Duplicate that. Let's move this one out the way. So we can put this over here. Just rotate this off over here so you can see it. But it still works. Let's move this button over here. Perhaps we want to just put a hole in this. So where is it? Field. So turn the field off. Reduce the size like that. So we've got this going on here. And perhaps I'll duplicate this. Oh no, don't duplicate. So everything's attached to it. So I just deleted all of that. I'm going to get an axis. I'm going to put parent it. So it's using the same, inherits the same color node. I'm just going to use a rectangle. Like that. And I'm going to align the rectangle to the left. Shift it over here. Perhaps something like this. Change the properties. Say I want it to animate as you click it. Let's animate the X property. So here, let's move this to a second. So and here will be 0. Yeah. So if you can just make as many buttons as you want. There's no limit to what you animate or how you animate it. You've got all these shapes. You can do it quite a lot with just basic shapes. You can do quite a lot. Oh yeah, I'll show you one other cool thing I can show you with shapes. Let's make an abstract background. Shapes. You can make some cool stuff. So for now, let's move away from buttons. I'll just block this for now. So you want to make a nice landscape. You could just take the rectangle. Boom. Like this. I'll just rotate it. And go into materials. You could of course import the geometry. You can import a model in from like Cinema 4D or Maya or whatever, 3D Max, whatever you're using. But you can also just use textures, create, like little abstract graphics. So if I go to like Ripple, do I have it on my desk? Yeah, there's this. I've got this kind of weird water ripple. So right now it's on the displacement, and if I increase the tessellation, there you go, you'll see it there. And I've got this insane abstract shape. So I'm gonna do some lighting, something so you can see it. Something like this. Going to your base color, just give it like a form. Why does it look like that? Let's go into the amount. For some reason, still looks flat, which is a bit odd. Should have some kind of shading going on here. Never mind. But what we can do is just go into the 2D options, the draw mode. I'll change it to points or sprites. Sorry, change the sprite size. There we go. Perhaps let's get rid of the directional lighting on that. And if I go back to like no light, then turn it to like a blue hologram blue texture. And change the tessellation on the Y. There we go. I think we wasn't seeing it because we didn't have anything on the Y. And then I go to the UV mapping. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Here, mapping, and just edit that. So I'll scale this up a bit. And scale the Y, the X. And you can animate that. You can create some complicated geometry just using materials, textures, without even having to go into another 3D application. Let's add some bloom on here. Now, you could create something like this using the particles of Ventuz as well. Great examples on the Ventuz store, the stuff Dennis done, and some really cool stuff. I wanted that, so when I click it, I want that to kind of maybe ripple out. You could do that. You could animate that as a ripple. Replace this with a circle. What happens? Replace that texture with a circle. Increase the tessellation on the rings. Something like, just get something you're happy with. I'm gonna change the scalar. I said 0. Mover for now. I'll just use a mover. So from 0 to say 35. 0 to 35. 35. I'm going to change the mode to one shot. Take that scalar. So every time I hit nudge, and if I rotate this so it's facing us, okay, and then hit the nudge, make this a bit more extreme. So I'll just disconnect that so I can see it. Oh. So from the top, it looks like that. Change the amount. Yeah, I'll just relink that. Hit nudge. There we go. Maybe I can get touch button. I'm just animating the displacement on that as a button. Of course, you could do much more cooler things with this. That I was just showing you how you can experiment and, you know, try different things. Perhaps you want to make one of those holographic. Let me delete that. Those holographic tables, that you see in those sci-fi movies. Axis, cylinder. Rotate this 90 degrees. Down. Z.
Angela Roberts, thanks Hashim.
You're
This
welcome.
tutorial is perfect. Does Ventuz have a sound node that will animate the texture?
Yeah, there's audio. There's an audio nodes that you can do like VJing as well. You can do where is it? You'd have to set up in the settings, but it does it. But say you modeled that as a nice table, then you got like a little add some bevel. Of course, it would make a nice sci-fi surface. So say you wanted that to animate. You wanted to animate the amount like to go dum, 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 to the music of the beat. You can do that. So here you got audio. Where is it? Sound. You got this audio analysis. Before they used to have a lot more. They used to have like these, but I guess they've put it all into one node. But if you hit F1, interactive node, I don't know if you'll see it. There you go. So they've already got some audio, but you can see it's triggering the graphic. They're using particles. This is texture with particles, I believe. There you go, driving the X. But yeah, you can do it. You can definitely animate. So if you want, hit F1, and then you get interactive example. But you can drive. Oh, that's my microphone. It's picking up my microphone right there. So you can see that's my microphone on the output. Apparently you can now do it to texture. I'll have to look at this node. I haven't used this new node. I used to use the inversion. I'm used to the way version 4 and 5. I don't even believe this 5 was like this. So I would have to look into this node a bit more. But it actually looks like it's got a lot more options. But yeah, you can do that. You can also do another way. Say you want to animate that, you can animate the noise. So you can add noise to this, reduce the scaling on it. Less. wiggle there. And then if I add a mover to it or something. Increase the duration. There we go. And even go here, add some depth of field. Boom. Blur the background there. Here we can see it happen. It's kind of working there. You can see it kind of blurring. But yeah, you can play around with it. Try different shapes. Might get a different effect, you know. Just try different things, just experiment. You got lots of options, so many options. Right now we're just using the sprite. There's what happens if you change the tessellation, you might get a completely different look. Yeah. I was just messing around with settings and I've got a different object. I believe if you add the texture to that as well, over texture alpha on that sprite. Texture to loader. There we go. Now it's not the sprite is now using the sprites are using the texture alpha here, these little circles. So you can change that and you can say, oh well, I want these now to be star. Texture, where is it again? Loader. It's hard to see, but they're little stars. You know. You can make some really abstract backgrounds just using shapes. Another cool way you can do, another cool abstract shape, you can use the cone. Not many people use cones. Go inside it. So now we're inside the cone. Add color to it. And make sure you go into here the material. You want to change, I believe it's the Z testing. I want to go inside it now. Draw mode, solid, front face. So now we're looking inside it. And if I go back to here and apply a texture, I'm going to do base with alpha. I load in like a flare, so I should have some flares in my D drive. My D drive's getting full up. 3D work. There's textures. Textures. If I get like a flare texture, cool blue texture, and I go to change the UV mapping. So from clamp to wrap, and to the mapping UV0, and I repeat the X value and the Y. Stretch the X, you know, and then animate that. Now I can make these cool abstract just using a cone right now. So we're inside it, but one of these, you can just use any texture to be honest. But you can create cool abstract textures. course, we've got here as well in the effects. Where is it? Effects. Where is it? This was it. The kaleidoscope. And you could animate this now. So if I get a mover, I'm animating that texture, and then I've got the additional effects on top. And then you just get some crazy things going on. I'll get a mover, take the X position, turn off swing. There we go. And then I can just keep on tweaking this, and I can tweak effects on here. Yeah, just like to experiment with lots of different things. Perhaps just too crazy, but of a graphic. But you can try different shapes again. What would happen if I switched it for a cylinder? Maybe I don't want that effect anymore. No, it's just the object itself. So we're just inside it. Perhaps I don't want on the object itself. I don't want the inner subset faces. You can turn those off and on. You got lots of options. You can put a hole in it. So you got top, bottom. You can turn these off. Yeah, these tools are pretty cool. Okay, now we don't need that bloom or depth filter. I'll just turn those off. Okay. Hopefully that was useful. But yeah, you can make really easy stuff, really simple stuff. I can look at some stuff on Pinterest. I'll go buttons, animation. Let's check this one out. I don't know what this does. Yeah, there's so many ways of animating this. You could do that's pretty simple to do. But yeah, definitely use stuff like Pinterest to get ideas, and then just break. The best way to learn is pick a graphic or an asset. Say, okay, how do you do this? Just try it. That's cool. I like that. Let's see if I can recreate that. So rectangle. I'll use a rounded rectangle just to make it look a bit nicer. Rounded rectangle. Scale this up. I'll make it like an A4 paper. The top left, I know. Oh, sorry, top right. We don't need that, so that'll do. I'm just going to get another axis. Rectangle for now. If I scale this up, this will mask that corner, so I'll just use that to mask that corner off, perhaps. A few ways you could do it. This might be overkill for a little icon or a little button, but sensor test and set them to layer 1. We'll have to invert it. Oh, the wrong way around. So put on this one. There we go. Invert. There should be a much more easier way to know which one's which. There we go. Finally, okay, there we go. So say that's I masked that off already. I'm just using the objects built in, and I could take it. And it animates like this. You could reveal that and then you just unmask. I don't even think you need to do it, but you could do that and then have another mask for the fold. I guess color solid. But yeah, you'll never know unless you just experiment. Keyframe. This. Animate that. Second. That's like that. No, maybe I'll fix that rotation a bit. Maybe I'll key that rotation. I don't even need to key it, just fix it, it's fine. I'll duplicate this. There's a darker color, slightly darker. There. I'll shift this up. Get down a bit. Okay, keyframe this. Because it looks weird right now. Oh no, oh no. I'm changing the wrong values right there. One. And then the Y. This. There you go. You can see the foldings going on here. It's just about masking it correctly. But yeah, you just mask this off and you'll be fine. But yeah, just experiment, try different things, you know. You could probably just use a texture, to be honest. Animate with a texture. I just tried different ways. Delete that. Cool. I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna go to sleep. It's at 2 in the morning. I've gotta wake up early as well. I'm gonna wake up at 7. So hopefully that was useful and you have a good night. Maybe tomorrow I'll be back. Enjoy the rest of your evening.